put it in chat now.
Okie dokie.
And there we are.
Well, he's there. I was just waiting for that happy okie dokie.
Okie dokie.
There we are. So we are live again. Welcome back, everybody. It has been a while, 1 week without playing, which is 1 week too long in most of our estimations. However, we are back, and we will be jumping straight into the recap of last session, starting with Preacher.
Well, we had a bit of a small, tiny fight. We went after, of course, selflessly going to save the children that were abducted from the mountain trail 2 episodes back. We were heading down into a some kind of villainous lair, we thought at least, cave system, something weird, but it turns out, no, not a cave system, a old fortress of one of the old legions that had been taken over by some rather fiendish enemies. Do believe we had an encounter with a couple of screamers, some undead stuff that were on fire. Nasty as all hell, as well as one particular enemy that in the end exploded on us, Hexen something, and took me down as well as a couple of others. And yeah, we won the fight, but it was pretty close to death for some of us. Upon being revived, we noticed that the ghosts at the dungeon or the fortress were friendly to me. So we were served a meal, and I'll hand it over to our fearless leader, Leopold.
Yes, the ghosts gave us a meal, and were just cleaning the place up of detritus, which was dash nice of them, and we really appreciate that. We continued on our way, passing some unmarked villages full of folks in black and white robes, and making our way to the Black Abbey, where we met Father Rawley and the abbot of the abbey, Abbot Tremaine. There we found out that the Rexen that we found at the ruins was a former member of the abbey called Ansel, who'd fallen from grace after the Pantheon changed. We were given some refreshments, and to our surprise, just when we were asking about a possible cure for lycanthropy for some of us, we were told that we'd already drunk the cure and we were done. And I will punt it to Marisol.
Yeah. So we had this fight down in the caves, which turned out to be this fancy old fortress. And they were really happy to see us after Preacher said hi. And they gave us food and shelter, and we found the kids. So we left to fight the full moon. And we did. Mador and Zara are no longer, hopefully, lycanthropes. And we got to where we were going, where we got some place to sleep. It was somewhat Spartan, but we can live with that. And now we are debating on what we're gonna do, if we're gonna wake up Cal again, and how we're gonna do that. And I'll let Mador tell us more about it.
Let's see. Yeah, we got into the fight with skeletal harpies. Those flaming guys, and that one big guy that man, again, when he blew up, he damaged everybody around him. Saved the kids, had the meal, made it to the Abbey in time. I gave the Abbott the letter from the Raven Knights in regards to me. Seems like I've already done most of what was needed. Mention about trying to find a lance at a old bastion, where it seems to be a lot of the undeads are coming from, which are causing the orcs to flee the area and start doing their slavery into this territory. They asked me for my decision about raising Cal, and I'm still undecided on that. Otherwise, I think that'll be it for me. Head over to Yodi.
Yeah, we fought in the basement. I got to do like some super speedy run to the end of the hallway type shit. That was pretty fun. When dude exploded, he almost killed me in one fucking roll. That was very close for me in particular. We hung out with the little ghosties, got to eat some ghost food. That was dope. And then we were talking about whether we were gonna go to these places, this place in particular, but they weren't really offering us money. They were just like, whatever you find, you can have. And so some of us were kind of like, well, you know, we could just do that anyways. So, other than that, the lycanthropy being gone, I was working on potion type shit. I think we all definitely need a bit of a rest, so we're gearing up to at least get some full rest going. That's about it. I will pass it to Edamir.
No, yep. I think everything's pretty much been said. I can't think of anything. Zara?
The only real note was the faithless ecclesiarch we fought down on the bottom, which was the type of Hyrexan we killed was actually a member of the abbey that we're currently at. So that was kind of neat. We actually got to turn in his remains for processing at his god's temple or whatever. So it was kind of neat. But yeah, the abbey's trying to get us to go do heroism for loot, which you got to offer us money to go collect our loot because people will pay you to do that. Gibbs money. Other than that, yeah, everything else has been covered. We have to make a couple of decisions on where to go from here. Shaga?
No.
Oh,
Nope.
One decision where where the people would like us to go, not only because of the loot, but they want us to stop the enemy from raising a literal army of dead. So in the fortress, we found a book that contains a full order of battle, including logistical knowledge from the First Empire, as well as some champion names. So someone wants to raise an army of undead. And the people in the abbey asked us to stop that as well. Now back to Shago.
There we are. So you are still in the abbey, plotting, and discussing what to do once we start today's session. So we will just pick up the thread from last time and see where life takes us. You're currently sitting in the abbey, relaxing, discussing, how good the food was, what to do next, how to get paid for it. That sort of shenanigans, if you will.
Did we sleep a full night?
You have slept a full night, yes.
Meaning we have healed.
You have. In addition, the abbey also has healers, doing the thing for you guys.
Thank you.
I'm gonna do a crafting check, Shago, for my next batch of potions, because that was done this morning.
Gotcha. Feel free to roll that up.
Starting off hot this morning.
Well, the potions they're not super difficult to make the ones you're making right now. So they are moving along nicely.
Eodi, a question. Since you're next to your cauldron anyway.
Yes.
How difficult is it for you to make healing potions and such? I'm about to ask the quartermaster of the monastery here for any offers they have on potions. We do go through quite a few healing potions in the midst of a fight.
Yodi will have 3 elixirs of life in 3 days, and that is the best I can do.
If you need help, I could help you. I know how to do that as well.
It is a matter of brewing time, not a matter of help.
Well, in that case, I will see what else I can build. I mean, we're up against undeads. Maybe I can build some bombs? Let me think about that.
Anything will help. Yeah, short term, I would like to talk to them about some kind of help with both survivability and offensive. We might not have time to fix much, but we can at least ask and see what they have.
Okay, what are the rest of you doing? Have you are you finished with your discussion about whether or not to go do the thing, for example?
I think we should do it. It's the right thing to do for one thing, and the other, we want the possibility to raise Cal, don't we? And we can't do that unless we go get the diamonds and stuff from that place.
Regardless of what we think about rewards or not, stopping this enables us to actually, I don't know, have some kind of life in this region, because an undead army, kind of bad.
Well, apparently it helps me finish my job I took on, so guess I'm in.
Stopping
And
armies sounds like a job for the government.
I'm not too keen on letting them use any of the old legion for this.
Well, we're not stopping the army. We're stopping it being made.
Yes, but I'm saying that I'm not keen on them using my old comrades, even if it's another legion, as fuel for this.
Yeah, we're on the same side. I want to do it this.
I mean, if it was super important to like save the whole country, you think that they'd have like a king's bounty out for it?
That's an
Still
idea.
feel like we're getting hoodwinked, accepting to do this job for nothing at all.
Well, this abbey can't pay. They are poor as all hell. Did you see the rooms? I've never slept on a bench before.
If there's anything that I know about abbeys, it's that you cannot judge their wealth by what you see in the abbey itself. Also, this is like an incredibly important location to Ravensbridge. They send all of their knighthood here to train.
The rooms aren't so bad. They are rather comfy, even.
You and I have different views on things that are comfy.
Well, if we are concerned with getting a reward or not, we can certainly ask them for other compensations rather than strictly money, services and training and such.
I mean, they want us to fight undead, so they should at least give us some holy water or something.
Yeah.
And we are mostly doing this because we want stuff to have them help us raise our old friend. So maybe they would throw in some of that, the price of casting the spell.
Do you
Yes.
think if I drench some of metal junk in holy water, that could make holy bombs?
I have no idea. You'd have to try. It does sound cool though.
Worth a try, definitely. I mean, even if it does not work with putting holy damage on it, junk bombs itself could help.
If you were to stamp the junk with some holy symbols, that certainly would help.
That's not a bad idea either. I'm going to work on that.
So yes, I am for, and I am for taking a discussion with the monastery regarding reduction of stuff for us in costs.
Well, I think most of us. I think most of us are in agreement that we should go out and see what we can do to stop this undead army. Like Zara, I feel we should be paid, but this is not coming from the abbey. The king's bounty, we can at least ask, but
It doesn't hurt to ask.
no, indeed. But I do not feel we can walk away from this.
If they don't think it's so important that they're willing to pay to have it taken care of, they should use their army to go get it taken care of.
I do believe that army headed off to somewhere like a dragon something.
That was
The guildmaster
last.
himself led that, and he was back to talk to us. And he offered bounties for all of these other bounties that we have accepted.
I didn't
He's
know
a
about
man
this
I'm
one.
willing to do work for. We have a stack of bounties to fill up for that man, dealing with orcs raiding the local villages and other such noble, heroic acts that affect the local everyday person and gets us paid.
Okay, so let's sit here for 2 weeks while you go back and forth and ask him for this particular job. No? Too late? So we can't actually sit and wait for that.
We do have other things we could be doing in the meantime.
While this event takes place regardless.
I'm not in charge of raising armies.
Leopold. Call the bolt.
I feel we should ask the abbot about bounty and see if he knows of an edict from the king, and whether there is any compensation beyond the loot that might be available. But
Ooh, that's another fair point. Many mages are capable of doing like distance communication. Can't remember the name of the spell off the top of my head, but there's a plethora of them. I'm sure that they have communication with important figures inside the government.
indeed, if nothing else, you might be able to reach someone with Eodi's help. Nevertheless, I am sorry, Zara. I do not feel we can walk away from this one. Something must be done, and if no one else is able to do this, it might be too late.
No one else or the first schmucks they saw.
Is there a difference?
Yes. If we're the first schmucks they saw, they'll be sending other groups to their deaths for no coin at all.
If the first schmucks fail, there may not be time for a second group of schmucks. What does schmucks mean anyway?
It's Ebon Coast slang for idiots.
I would say we were intrepid adventurers, but I am open to the difference of opinion.
Yodi's hoard does not get bigger by doing charity. Yodi thinks we should go do the bounties we've already signed up for.
Do any of our bounties take us in the direction of this castle that was mentioned?
My thoughts exactly.
2 birds with 1 stone is always a good deal. Well, we know that Edemir, wherever he is, would want to go and stop the undead. I would like to hear from Mado and see what he thinks. We have heard from everyone else.
I'm going one way or the other.
Very well. Zara, if you approach the abbot and ask if there is any further reward or compensation for this task they want us to do. But I feel we should prepare to set out.
I'll go look at the remaining bounties we have and see what directions they'll take us in.
Zaro will find the abbot.
Estrella, would you help Marisol and you seem to know the area a little better than we do.
Not really, but I'm good at finding stuff, I think. I don't know. Not as good as a ranger, surely.
And we can all look.
So, should I look or should I put bombs? Not sure the time will be enough for both.
Very well. I will look with Marisol. You work on your bombs. Be careful with them.
Right. So, who is doing what and who wants to do it first?
I vote that Zara starts first.
Zaro will be talking to the abbot about getting us some payment.
Right. So you're heading to talk to Tremaine. You find him standing one-legged on a thin log in the courtyard, bare-chested while it's snowing on him.
Why, howdy there. We had some questions about this job offer you had for us.
Ah, the seeker of knowledge. What questions do you have?
Well, we were wondering if you had reached out to, the Capitol or to the Ravensguard or anyone and seen if there was payments available to make this contract, an actual contract.
Well, sir, no ravens have arrived from neither Caractacus Chevalier or Ravensbridge. Nor do I believe this has been registered as a mercenary contract.
So what you're saying is y'all are just like jumping the gun and hoping we'll go do it for some heroism?
Well, to be frank, you don't seem the type, but alas, if you want your friend returned from beyond the veil, somebody's gonna have to go gather what's needed.
Oh sure. The finding us a diamond worth using to restore a soul, that's its own question.
It's not just about the diamond, young Zara. It's about the paraphernalia needed for one of us to reach beyond the veil and bring somebody back. To a layman, it might seem like a diamond is all that is needed, but believe me, we want the full kit and caboodle from that abbey or from the castle to make certain that whoever is returned from beyond the veil is actually the one we're trying to return. If not, especially in these times, we could reach beyond and, well, could be that the body starts moving, but it's not your friend that's in there. Of course, it would also be the matter of, how do you say, reputation. While we are a poor abbey, we train champions in disciplines of the spirit and discipline of, well, discipline. And these champions, they are attached to knightly orders, dukes, counts, marquises, marquesses. A letter of introduction from the Abbey would get you far. Next time you look for a contract or wish to renegotiate terms of payment.
So you're saying you're willing to pay us an exposure?
Exposure? No. Legitimacy? Yes. Your names are already well known in the March of Nassans. Not so much in Golden Glens in its entirety, but in Nassans, the Dark Thorns carry some weight. It's been known you've aided the Raven Guard, worked on behalf of the Duke, saved the refugees, slain undead. I'm certain there are very many contracts coming up for you in the coming months and years, especially the way things are looking now. So, while I cannot offer you gold, rubies, diamonds, or copper coins, I can offer you leverage when it comes to renegotiating the next contract with somebody who will hoard wealth instead of knowledge.
Right. So you're offering us exposure. Okay, well, I'll let the boss know, but just so you know, tumultuous times means plenty of work for folks like us.
It does. I wish you the very best.
Zara's gonna walk away. I rolled a 14 diverse lore and a 16 religion. What do I know about raising dead?
A lot of what he said's unknown to you. You haven't heard anything about raising the dead, people from the dead being more difficult or fraught with peril. News to you. All right, preachers heading for the quartermaster.
Yes, indeed, sir.
It's a young halfling lady dressed in sort of loose-fitting pants you'd expect on a monk, and just an open vest and a bandage wrapping, hiding the more gentle parts of the upper body. Her hair in the same type of dreadlocked braids as the abbot. However, her hair is bright teal.
I greet with a salute and inquire. May I have a bit of your time? I am looking for supplies for our future journeys and a little bit of general questions.
Why, of course you can. I sense you are also on the path of enlightenment. My name is Imelda. What can I do for you?
I go by the moniker of Preacher. I have been on the path of enlightenment ever since I got reawakened. I had certainty before, and now I have less certainty and less memories to work on. So yes, I am looking for enlightenment. In recent times, my fellowship have been encountering increasingly numbers of undead, and we have gone through quite a bit of both healing materials, as well as suffered quite a few dire straits with their very strange abilities. So we would be happy to inquire about protection or even the ability to, well, hurt them better than we can right now. Do you have any runes, potions, even protective stuff available?
Well, normally the Abbey does not provide travelers with any of our magical any of our magical gear. However, I may be able to supply you if you were on a mission for the Abbey itself.
We are considering such a mission, and it's quite the task. So yes, I think you may confirm that with the headmaster.
I might be able to. I might be able to supply you with some runes, some potions. However, the Abbey, as I'm certain you are aware, is mostly ascetic. What we have of magical weaponry and other things is already used by the Guardians of the Abbey itself.
Of course.
There was a knight of Montfort who specialized in dealing with the undead, a follower of Anku and the Quan, the Sisters of Duality. He tried the trials of a champion here, but he failed. However, he did not let that sway him from his path. I believe he carried a warhammer named Hexjägare.
Ominous.
Made for destroying not only undead, but also necromancers in particular. Or those wielding the dark arts of necromancy and suffused with their power.
Sounds interesting, but it also sounds like a very powerful artifact.
Well, the intent behind it was very powerful, I'm certain. The Warhammer itself, quite a potent magical weapon, but it did him little good when the demons arrived.
One-sided, I understand. Would you be willing to... How would this go about? Would this be available for us for the duration of the mission, or...?
If you were to travel to the castle to clear out whatever evil is there and preying on the villages around it, I'm certain the abbot would sign off on some requisitions, and of course, if it's been given to you, unless it's specifically mentioned, it would be yours to keep.
I
Things
would
like
have to...
potions and magical bandages, not really something we expect to be returned.
I'll have to inquire whether we have hammer using warriors in our midst. I am of the unarmed variety.
Well, one of our younger members of the order went to the castle about a fortnight ago against the wishes of the abbot. He never returned, but as far as I can see, he was wearing at least one item of some magical potency that would be of interest to you in particular.
We shall look for him and this item, of course, but the man himself in particular.
If he still lives, I would personally gift you one of my own items of magical potency if you return him alive. Should he have perished, well, I'll make certain that as long as his soul is put to rest, whatever he was carrying is noted as requisitioned by you for however long you should wish to use it.
Give our thanks. I will need a description of the person to recognize it, of course.
Give me a second, and she rummages about, and then pulls out about a foot of square blue cloth embroidered with runes of pretty much every color you can think of. Yeah. Places her hand on it and closes her eyes and hums. And you can see a translucent image of a half elf male in his 40s. There are some tattoos spiraling down both of his arms, mostly of a maritime nature. Ropes, compasses, anchors, that sort of thing.
Hmm.
You can see from what you can see of his body, he's had a lot of training as a monk after whatever maritime career he had. He looks angry and impatient.
That is not good traits. Would it be possible to have something of his old clothing, old thing of that it may have left behind? Because I do believe we have trackers in our midst.
Yes, give me. And she reaches up and plucks out one of her earrings. He gifted this to me. It's a small brass anchor.
I will see if we can use this to find a trace of whatever he went. I will look for him. Do the name, please.
His name was Ebert.
Ebert. Yep. I will make sure we look for him on the path. Are you going to partake in the training during the day?
Once 2 bells after dinner have passed, I will be doing my training.
I will see if I can find you there.
It would be a pleasure to see some of the ancient arts. And then she kind of places her fist in her flat hand and bows to Preacher.
Excellent. I will let the others know of our discussions, and please have a talk with your headmaster about my proposition for requisitions on this mission.
I will absolutely do so.
Yep. And Preacher bows and goes back to the others. Q next.
Right, who's next out?
Marisol and Leopold are trying to find the map, and if not, they're just going to discuss the bounties we currently have and where to find them.
Ah, yes. You do have a map. Unlike in real life, because your GM is lazy. But you do have a map.
We're actually trying to find a loophole that makes that, yeah, but in that direction of the castle, we also have these people we need to find. So, oh, look, there it is. Might as well go check it out then.
Which direction is the castle from the abbey?
There's mentally mapping things out. It would be to the northeast, just inside of the circle of, or on the edge of the circle of Badlands, surrounding the crater of Jagged Teeth.
And all of our bounties are southeast, or directly south, depending on how far north we went.
Well, then we'll just map those out and figure out what we're gonna do. But we'll make sure we have a good route planned out and thinking about things. So what do you say we do, Leo? We're probably not going to get paid for this job. and we know that some people will not be wanting to participate.
I cannot help that. I would like to take the group out to this castle and see what we can do to prevent this undead army. We will see what Zara says, what she gains from the abbot. But I feel that time is of the essence.
Hmm. What if our ward decided to go there? Then we'd have to follow her because we're paid to keep her safe, aren't we?
Well, yes, that would be sufficient. But Albertine is in training here. I doubt very much she will be going to the castle.
Yeah. I don't know. Everything in me screams that we should do this. Although that I do understand the wish to be paid. I'm a bounty hunter, for God's sake.
Yeah, me as well. But sometimes you have to do things just for the good of all.
Well,
That argument would not sway Zara.
no. Uh, and where I come from, we've always been taught that heroes sometimes have to do what heroes need to do, even if there's no glory or money in it.
I mean, surely that is the definition of a hero. They do what must be done, regardless of payment or reward. It is not a thought for them. They do what they must.
But are we heroes, though?
I would not think so. No. We are working folk. Heroes? Maybe later, accidentally. But no. We are simply for hire. We do the good things because we,
Although so was the heroes of Bourgogne used to be that, and they are the greatest heroes of all times now.
this is, of course, true. Anne himself, well, I need not talk to you of Anne.
She just shakes her head. No, we'll have to see what we can do. And perhaps there's a board somewhere where there's some other bounties posted for this area, and there might be some going northeast.
This is also something we can look into, but I am not hopeful. I think we must either turn back and resume our contracted task, or take a chance to do something, well, purely
Well,
for the good of it.
it's not purely for the good of it. It's what we need to do if we want to raise Cal.
Come, Marisol, let us be honest. We would do this because it will help the people around this area.
Yeah, you and I would, but the rest, I'm not so sure about them. But they might do it for Cal, our
This is of
friend.
this is of course true. Now, Mador, he will probably do it as part of his quest to become a knight. Master Iodi? I'm not so sure.
Hmm. Master Yodi, I could probably pay, and he's been with me for ages now. I have no idea why.
He obviously likes you and enjoys the company of Billy. Well, we will return to the others and see what we can though, but I feel we should go.
Yeah, so do I. Here, I smuggled in some black bean booth.
Oh, that is good. Thank you.
And we'll go back into the main room with all our bounties plotted out, and yeah. I think you might be muted, my love.
No, that's just to build tension. Was there anybody else who had a specific person they wanted to talk about?
Well, when we had tea with the abbot, I asked about an alchemist to get material for my bombs, and now I have even more specific needs as I want to try to make bombs with extra damage against undead.
Well, there's no alchemist at the abbey. However, you did seemingly bring your own. And the abbot kind of nods his head over to where Eodi's heading into the cellar, with a cauldron following him on 4 legs.
Okay. So I now have all the materials I needed, right?
Well, that depends on what Eodi has time to make for you.
Well, I also need a smith to get some junk.
Well,
Since I am making a junk bomb.
there's a blacksmith here. Certainly you could get some nails from him.
That would definitely help. Does he have any black powder by chance? I need to make explosives.
Ma'am, this is an abbey in the mountains of Golden Glens. You are asking for things you would find at a specialty market in the Ebon Coast.
Oh, well, could have been. I mean, you do have travelers coming by sometimes.
Yes, we train in the arts of the self, of inner strength and discipline, not in flashy things that go boom.
Okay, but I do have a question you may be able to answer as well. It is about, I think against undead holy water is effective, right? So would it work if I drench the nails in holy water before I put them in the bomb?
Well, you'd have to speak to an alchemist about that. If you can keep the holy water from dissipating inside the bomb, it sounds like it should work. However, I punch things, so this is not really my area of expertise.
Yeah, well, the main part here was, if I remember correctly, about the holy water against undead. Thank you very much.
All right, and as Estrella's walking away, another monk is going like, but holy water is not effective against the zombies on the coast of the Ebon Coast around the temples of Nashla, because they are suffused in holy water. And the other goes, well, she's not heading to the jungles of Nashla, is she now? And you can hear the debate getting heated as you're heading away from it.
Yeah, so seems like I'm looking for Eodi.
Right. Heading towards Eodi. Give me a perception check. There's a figure dressed in tight-fitting clothing with a heavy cloak obscuring most of his body, standing so that he's deep in shadows next to where to the entrance that Eodi walked in. Once you see him and he notices he's been seen, he lights a pipe. You can see through the puff of light from lighting the pipe, you see a gray goatee. and a large brimmed hat. It's a man a human in his 50s, you'd say, with a lined, weather-beaten face. His right eye seems to be some sort of reddish gem. There's a lot of scarring from where that eye's been gouged out by something nasty. He gives her a little.
Curiously, she walks over, but she does have a hand casually on her weapon. Like normal strolling, resting her hand.
Yeah. Takes another puff of his pipe and. Oh. Interesting to see one of you here.
One of me?
Yes. I thought
I
most
mean,
of you either perished during the fighting or were gathered out in the woods in small bands trying to survive.
well, I don't know what you're talking about. I'm an adventurer and a human. Pretty common around here, I think.
Yes. Adventure is very common. Humans, very common. Human adventurers like you, not quite so common.
She's looking around if anyone else is listening.
It doesn't look like it. There's also a lot of bustle and people going, "Oh!" and punching things in the courtyard.
She's crossing her arms. What does make you think I'm one of those?
No, I don't think. The remnants of that mark around your eye tells me everything I need to know. However, there's no bounty out for you right now, so it's no concern of mine.
So then, who you may be? Another bounty hunter?
Of sorts. I'm a deputy, you could say.
And what brings you here?
Well, there were rumors. Not only that some of you had dispersed and survived in the forests, but also that some of the commanders of this, well, little debacle had survived. One in particular, a exceedingly brutal one, a quartermaster, gluttonous, brutal, and with a taste for human meat.
Her face darkens.
I see you. You know who I'm talking of.
I think I know, yes. Where is he supposed to be?
Supposedly, he is taken up with an orc war chief. His personal gourmet chef. Whether or not that orc war chief is in the area that you are talking about traveling to, unconfirmed, but I find it to be likely.
Well, I'll take any information you can give me, and I'll be happy to take care of him.
Well, this is one of the larger orc warbands that's traveled into Nosans lately. From what my sources tell me, they were almost panicked for the first few days after leaving the crater of jagged teeth, but also with a strong hatred of anything undead, to the point where they dug up every graveyard in every village they passed through, ate the bodies, and split the bones in their own orcish way, ensuring that nobody could be revived as part of the legions of the dead. The last I heard, well, this orc war chief, he'd heard rumors that a necromancer had established himself in Castle Montfort, and these orcs were looking for somewhere to live.
So it could be that they're trying to kill the necromancer and gain the castle for themselves.
Well, they're brutal. Their morality doesn't fit our own, especially the eating humans part. Difficult to swallow in civilized society. But they're not stupid, knowing that they have, let's be honest here, probably the superior infantry to a peasant with a pitchfork and leather armor. Or the regular militias, I would say. Finding walls where they can't be assailed by knights on horseback would be a priority for them.
These are valuable information. Thank you very much.
Yeah, reaches into his coat and pulls out a dagger of the... It's not the typical type of dagger you'd usually find in the lands where you come from. This one's longer, thinner, about the length of your forearm. Looks like it should be useful for both slashing and stabbing. And it's in a scabbard of some sort of black leather. Creature, which it's, well, you're no druid, so you don't know what it's made from. Should you manage to kill him and find yourself in Crac de Chevalier, present this dagger to, well, finding out who to present it for to is part of the job.
I understand, and may I also get your name? You only said you're a deputy.
You can call me Matthias Schlavenjäger. And he takes a step forward, hands her the dagger, and gives her 2 pats on the shoulder. You seem like a good sort. I'll make certain that those of your compatriots that can be redeemed will have a life in Golden Glens.
I would appreciate it. Most of them haven't been there voluntarily.
Best of luck. And then he walks off, heading towards the gates.
She puts the dagger on her belt, a little hidden with her clothes, and continues downstairs to Aodi.
Right. Yodi's, Yodi can describe what he's doing himself.
Now, Yodi's sitting around the cauldron studying the staff that he snagged in the basement, trying to figure out what it is.
So, you getting anywhere with your studies?
Hmm? Oh. Yes, it is very tricky to learn the magic of others, but Iodi will figure it out.
I'm sure you'll do. I was wondering if I could use some of your alchemical ingredients to make some bombs that could help us in a fight against undead.
I suppose that would depend on how much, time and loose coin you have, friend.
I'm sure we can figure something out. Time, I would say, until we have to leave. That depends on the group. And I haven't worked with holy water before, so would it work if I drench the nails in holy water? Would it hold when I build it into a bomb? Or do we need to adjust the bombs itself? In that case, I would probably need your help figuring it out.
I'm certain my character knows this information. I, however, do not.
Well, you're not an alchemist, so bombs are kind of out of your wheelhouse.
Am I not an alchemist? I don't think that's...
Not the class that makes bombs. It's part of their class feature.
I mean,
To be
I'm
more-
an expert crafting and alchemy, but okay.
Well, to make bombs, you only need the alchemist, what's it called? Alchemical crafting feat, and then you get the book for it with the receipts you need.
So, Yodi at least knows about common types of bombs. A holy water infused pipe bomb would take some experimenting, as it's not one of the standard recipes.
Truth.
That's true. That's why she asked for junk bomb drenched in holy water. Although, if we are experimenting and we can create something better than a simple junk bomb, I would take it.
Well, we can certainly try to make something that goes boom. Iodi makes no guarantees it will not harm everyone around.
If it makes boom in the middle of enemies, it is supposed to harm everyone around. But yeah, I wouldn't like it to blow up here.
Well, Iodi has made many things of this nature. We will see what we can come up with. Because I do have magical crafting and expert alchemical crafting. I should be able to do and specialty crafting. I should be able to make any of these things.
I'm going to say you can make basic bombs, but this type of stuff that the alchemist gets as a class feature, you're not going to be able to make any of that. That would make the class itself entirely useless.
Well, the thing is that alchemists, the class, can do them every day in a single day, and that's their benefit. Not that they're the only ones who can make it. But it's cool. We'll do it however.
If I can only make normal junk bombs, that's fine as well. I only have the lesser recipe, but I will upgrade that in the next town, I guess.
I'm going to say that for trying to make something specific like you're asking without ever having made it before, the initial crafting check is going to be a DC 25. And once it's been made and Iodi's figured out how to make it, it's going to be just regular DCs. But first, he needs to figure out how to make it, because that's not in the bomb maker's guide that he got from...
And I was about to ask if I can add a bonus from me when I help him, because we're working on it together, but it's not even needed.
No, definitely not. Iodi's like, this seems easy, and then he just does it.
I'm willing to spend time doing this. She's at least got his attention because he likes making things go boom, so Iodi just kind of throws himself to the task, forgetting about the staff he was attempting to identify.
Yeah, takes not even a single misstep. He just kind of figures it out in his head, and then, yep, there we go.
Seeing how passionate he is about creating explosives, Estrella actually likes him now. And she is looking very closely how he does it, so she can recreate it. Asking questions here and there.
Yeah, well, it's he's having a eureka moment, and of course, having assumed that at least one of these was going to be a failure, he is and being wrong, he's actually crafted 2 bombs instead of 1.
Yodi would recommend, when you pull this little pin, you are as far away from this thing as you possibly can be.
Sure thing. And she shows him notes she took while he worked. Is that correct? I just want to make sure I can do it on my own later on.
Yodi would not recommend trying to recreate this at your home, but you are free to do so.
Thank you very much for your help. That was really interesting. You're really good.
Yes, and only mostly dangerous. I will return to what I was doing now.
Right, but as you're finishing your conversation, the door kind of flies open, and Albertine enters, dragging Mador and a disheveled but somewhat frightened-looking young lady along. She points at Yodi and goes, There he is! Please, Master Yodi, you must listen to what this young lady has to say to you. She is pleading for the help of great heroes and great minds, and I've already told her that Mador is the greatest warrior in the land, and you are the greatest brain. With the 2 of you working together, I'm certain that you can save her home village. I can't leave this abbey. I need you to do this for me. Please, Yodi. And then she comes up and kind of rubs him behind the horns on his head.
You have Yodi's attention, at least momentarily.
Yeah, a young lady with the hair in 2 braids, long golden hair, dressed as in the type of buxom innkeeper clothing you've gotten used to in traveling in the taverns of Golden Glens. Comes up to Yodi with large, tearful eyes and falls down on her knees in front of him. Please, Master Dragon, the Lady Albertine has told me all about your great mind and great power. I beseech you, on behalf of the village of La Marcotte, please, you must take your band of warriors and servants, save us from the orcs that are plaguing us. Without your sharp mind and your powerful magic, we are surely doomed.
And it is true that Yodi is great and powerful. Yes. Where is this village of yours?
La Marcotte is to the north, under the demesne of Castle Montfort. And greenskins have been raiding us, killing our cattle, stealing our children, eating all of our food, and last but not least, stealing parts of the hoard that we were planning on offering to you for our rescue.
They are stealing your hoard?
No, Master Wizard, they're stealing your hoard.
I do not like this. We must speak to Sir Leopold, then. We have many things we must do.
Thank you. And she turns to Mador. Great and powerful Madora, I'm certain with your strong arms and doughty stature as a great warrior, you can help the Wizard Lord Iodi rescue our village.
Yeah, I'll help.
Albertine goes, well, no time to spare. I think I saw Leopold and Marisol had to go eat. You should talk to them right now.
Yes, let us go see the two and see what we have planned for next.
Right. So I guess you're heading to talk to the others?
Yes.
Well, as you all move out, Estrella barely manages to catch as the door is closing. The young lady and Albertine kind of high-fiving each other. And I assume the rest of you are gathering up again.
So, ladies, you certainly know how to appeal to him.
You have never seen anybody look more innocent.
Well, Leo and I were going to lunch.
Right? Anybody else who wants to join the lunch are, of course, free to do so.
Looks
We
like
should-
we're heading there.
Pretty sure we'll probably at least meet up with them.
I guess I'll stop trying to knock people off logs and stuff.
Well, you found it to be a lot more easy once you didn't try doing it in fox form.
It's the point is, to just distract them. I don't want to hurt them. So, a little fox form doing it, that's fine. As long as they don't step on my tails.
Right. Heading back towards lunch, Edemir's intercepted by what looks like a very large golden retriever wearing, well, sort of monk-like clothing. In this case, just a band of beads. A necklace, I believe it's called, of prayer and meditation beads. It kind of saunters up to him as he's in fox form, heading towards lunch and already thinking about mice.
Mice.
The dog just kind of starts walking next to him and like, hello, brother.
Hello?
It is not often I see another follower of the green in this temple. Pray tell me, where are you headed? And what circle
now,
do you belong to?
Right now, to eat some mice.
Ah. Yes. That seems like a good idea for lunch, but in the long run,
I think there's like a castle with some undead to go kill.
I would ask a favor of you in that case.
Okay.
There was one of our number, a follower of the Green, who lived in Montfort. She cultivated a tree. If you head there, I would like, if you can see if the tree is still alive. If it is not, See if you find a piece of its essence you could bring here so that I can replant it in the abbey.
Sure thing. What's your name?
I am Karid. I follow the green, such as you. However, my duties here, they do not allow me to leave, or I would have flown over to have a look myself.
I'll be sure to take a look.
If you do this for me, if the tree is alive or dead, bring a solid branch from it, and I will craft you a staff to help you on your travels.
Sounds like a mighty fine deal. Thank you.
Excellent. It seems I have other pressing matters. And his tail starts wagging as he sees a monk readying a ball. Enjoy your mice. And then the ball is flung and the druid disappears chasing it.
Nice.
Right, I believe most of you are gathering for lunch zeit.
Can we have a bio break?
Well, we've been here for about 2 hours, so how about we take 10 for bio and tea making, and then we return 8:05.
Perfect.
Sounds good.
Yeah, except she's not German. She's from Manchester. However, we are back live. So, I believe most of you were gathering up to eat lunch.
Yes,
That we were.
So, you've gathered up to eat lunch and share your information.
Marisol. Oh, excuse you.
Yes.
Kid's over here dying. Hold on. Alright. Hey, Marisol, were you and Leopold, you were studying the maps on where we should go next, yes?
Yes, I have the map here.
Insert name of town here. I would like to know, are we going in this direction?
Well, that depends. Our bounties are down here. And this is the castle we've been asked to go to be able to save Cal.
As you can see, they are not exactly in the same direction.
Well, Iodi has been given word of a hoard. Many monies for Iodi to collect, so I will be voting we go here.
I'm voting with Yodi then.
I have a tree I must find near Castle Montfort, so I vote we go there. Plus, there's
That's the
undead to
same.
kill.
That's the same place.
Yeah. We could encounter some undead hating orcs that like to eat humans. Apparently, they destroyed a lot of graveyards around to stop any dead being raised.
I see no problem with that.
Yeah, they are very brutal. So if we encounter them, even if we have a common goal, killing undead, they are not our allies.
But they could become them. I mean, they're just killing undead.
And eating humans.
Yeah,
Dead humans or alive humans?
it does not
Both.
matter. We cannot allow them to eat us.
Well,
No.
you didn't mention the whole eating humans part.
Trust me, you don't want them as allies.
As far as on my front, the Abbey has offered us a huge payment of recognition.
Recognition.
Let me get this straight.
I heard that pays
what?
the bills.
Shush. What exactly does recognition mean, Zara?
They're going to write us a letter saying that we did very nice deeds and helped them.
So let me get this straight. If we do this, then the abbot will write us a letter.
They want us to CJ Castle for a letter that says thank you.
A letter from an abbey that trains champions.
A letter that has an incredible amount of political sway that probably could have, actually hired people is offering us a letter.
Will this letter get us more jobs and more pay?
So will, an army rampaging through the city.
This is true.
Turmoil brings money for us mercenary types. Going and thwarting it before it ever arises for a letter is kind of killing a bunch of potential contracts in the future where they would pay us when it's an actual problem. It's the problem with heroism.
Yes, the goodwill issue. I am still of a mind to go and chase it, Sarah. I am sorry.
But Yodi, the horde you were talking about, is that payment for going and helping?
Iodi was told there would be a great horde were he to free this city. Iodi must grow his horde any way possible. Letters, they do not sleep well.
But what if it's a horde of letters? Did they mention what this horde entailed?
They were talking about money, little fox friend.
Did they say that?
Yes, they did.
Further, I did speak with the quartermaster, Leopold, regarding provisions and certain items of interest. It seems that, pending on the agreement with the headmaster, the abbot, we will be given care of a particular strong item, a warhammer that an apprentice knight used. It is reputedly quite powerful, and it will be in our care for the duration of the mission, and possibly, depending on the terms, indefinitely, as well as some potions and other necessities, supplies, depending on, again, the agreement with the abbot. So you have some leeway to treat there. There's also a bounty for a missing young monk, relatively speaking, that went for, well, he went to the Castle Montfort and in some vague, insane attempt to do something stupid. And he got himself lost. So if we can find him, and I have a item of his, I hold up a earring that we can use to track him with, we can recover his items, and if he's alive, all good. And if he's dead, we get the items and put his bones to rest.
Do you have a photo of him?
I can describe him, and the quartermaster can recreate his image.
Well then we
Do
should be
they
able to track
want-
him.
Do they want him dead? It
No.
seems like they want him dead.
Recover was the preferred.
But if he's dead, then we get the stuff also.
They don't do a very good job incentivizing the outcome that they want.
Well, I may be brushing over the details of the deal since we're kind of summarizing and we're sitting here. If you want the full contract, I can certainly go and get it printed out in paper for you mercenary types that needs everything spelled out.
I'm just trying to understand. I mean, if we bring him back alive, we don't get his stuff. But if we bring him back dead, we get his stuff.
If we bring him back alive, we were offered an item of the quartermasters instead.
Well, that changes things.
Yeah, that makes more sense.
And this quartermaster is a person that I think is quite valuable to get us an ally, and I think she has the items that we might be useful for us.
But we only get these items if we go off to Castle Montfort, yes?
It is dependent on the mission, yes. But I think there's leeway to negotiate here, and I don't know exactly how much of the healing potions and all the supplies and the warhammer itself. That's up for you and Abbott to decide.
It would depend on the warhammer, but
it is quite. The description was quite interesting. It's not a trinket.
Well, I think most of us were for going to Castle Montfort.
Well, with the horde there to find, that's payment. We have Cal's resurrection on the line. That's payment.
Yeah, we just have to make sure that this orc war band that's eating humans does not take refuge in the castle after we have cleared it from the necromancer. Because they will probably try that. No, they will surely try that.
One of the contracts that we have out that was east of Ravensbridge was for a orc warband leader.
Could that
Those
be the
sound
same one?
related.
This is possible. Where were they chased? Estrella, did they say where they were chased from?
So how about this? Right? Instead of just sieging Castle Montfort, we go to the village, rescue the village, we scout the area around the castle to see if we see sign of our wayward priest, and then we push south to where our bounties are. And we leave sieging a castle for, when we're better equipped,
Can we
or
not?
when they're going to pay us.
Can we not parlay with these orcs? Like, they don't like undead. They got a whole war band, and
If
we need help sieging a castle of
If
undead.
they like eating villages, then no.
Yes, but we can deal with them later after the horde of undead soften them up, and it's a win-win.
I have heard that the leader's personal chef is a very brutal former army commander that likes to slice up humans, as he is a human himself.
Yes, but we parlay with them, we get them to help us siege the castle, and then we stab them in the back.
They
After
will
sieging
stab
said
you
castle.
in the they will stab you in the back as soon as they can, probably even before sieging the castle.
Yes, so we're on the same terms, you know.
That with you on the plate in front of the war chief?
Question.
I'm strictly against teaming up with them.
So am I.
Question.
Yes, sir.
I'm listening in, and people are talking about sieging a castle. I don't recall ever hearing anything about the castle actually being manned by thousands of enemies. The target is a castle with unknown amount of people inside.
Well, to be fair, they're not people anymore, they're undead.
But they're not raised yet.
I am about to
Speaking.
smack the fox.
There will certainly be some undead, but the army that we are supposed to stop hasn't been raised yet. So we have the
Exactly.
necromancer and some undead.
Yes. So we don't know exactly.
If we wait, we will have the army.
So, on a historical note, there's plenty of historical examples of 20 or 30 men holding off thousands for days to weeks to years.
Yes.
So even if it's 10 dudes holding the castle walls, it's still sieging the castle. You're still going to have to try to find a way into a fortified place that doesn't want to be taken.
We should be able to do that.
If only there were an engineer with us.
I mean, some people here know magic. I know how to climb and how to open locks. I think we're good. Oh yeah, and we have. I think monks are pretty good as well for entering places they're not supposed to be.
Yes. What I'm saying is that I like the suggested plan to go and have a look at the castle. Because if there's hundreds and hundreds and hundreds in there, yes, then we're probably out of our debts. If it's 10 or 20 and we can achieve entry, we're probably good.
Indeed, it costs us nothing to look. We can do something about the orcs and rescue the village and all that, and decide whether or not we enter the castle when we get there.
Just gonna mention that only a few nights ago we nearly died to 6 undead and a former priest, not even a full-blown necromancer. And that was in an undefended basement.
Let's go save the village and then take a look at the castle. For all we know, it's more of a ruin than a castle.
You have a point about the encounter in the underground fortress. But also, we are securing a artifact that might help us, the Warhammer I was talking about. Which is going to be very effective against the undead.
I am sure that one of us will be able to use it.
Not I.
I was thinking more about Mado or Zara, but thank you, Edemir.
There's also the chance that if this priest can be found, and if his equipment can be found, might be an item there that might be useful to me against the undead as well.
So we are going, yeah?
Village, Scout, Castle. Yes.
I'm in.
It's a start.
But what about my sacred tree?
We can look for the sacred
Isn't
tree.
that the same direction?
Should be. I
Well
haven't looked at the
then,
map.
well, here's the map.
Yes, the tree should be within the castle itself.
Well, then we have a reason to try to get in.
Carefully, very carefully.
Of course.
Edemir has shown himself quite capable of getting in places he shouldn't be unnoticed as well.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Of course not. It's perfectly normal to just, have a fox sneaking around your basement.
With a vulture flying overhead? Hmm.
Well then, let's get ready to go. Do we leave tonight or today, or do we leave tomorrow?
Yeah, I think we need to finish the Abbott discussion first.
Can we also spend a few days allowing Eoti to use some of these runes we found so that we're not just carrying around useless weight?
You have runes?
A few days. That's more time for the necromancer to raise an army.
Might also be the difference between life and death. And alive and an army to avoid is much preferable to dead.
Yes,
Yes.
we should try and equip the runes.
Runes can certainly be powerful. What kind of runes do you have?
We have some striking runes and some potency runes, and I believe we has a ghost touch rune somewhere.
Oh, that one sounds interesting.
I do not think any of us were making use of it.
Nope.
Well, if you don't mind, I would like the ghost touch rune. I mean, ghosts are certainly things that I have trouble fighting against. So if I have more things I can actually hit with my weapons, good.
No one else stakes a claim to it. It is yours.
She's one of us now. I can't see no reason why we should carrying it around if she can use it.
Exactly what I was thinking.
Well, thank you very much for that.
I do believe we also have a discussion regarding some armor runes. I don't know if they've been attached to anything.
I don't wear armor, so I probably can't even use it.
I think they might be of use to Mado.
Preacher and I have been pushing the flanks quite a bit and attracting quite a bit of attention, so I think we should be the two to wear them.
I agree. That seems like a good priority. I think Mador already has one.
In that case, that makes perfect sense. I am not sure if Preacher can wear an armor rune, but they are there for use.
The runes can also be embedded in your clothing to help them turn away blows.
Yes.
Well, I'm not the one most often targeted, so I will definitely not lay claim to this one.
I would appreciate it since I've been near death a couple of times.
Indeed. In that case, my friend, it is yours.
Thank you.
Zara, if you can make use of the other one.
We also have one striking rune, one for Marisol, and then there's one Calazir would have liked to use, but I don't think she needs it.
I think that would be very practical to have on Leo's bow. I'm already using one.
I will need to see the armorer. No, the blacksmith, whatever there is at the monastery.
Your bow will quite literally be twice as effective.
That will be very welcome.
So, armor runes for Preacher and Zara, the Ghost Touch for Estrella, and the Striking for Leo. Are there any objections?
Did you not want the second striking room?
I have one striking rune for my pistols already, and my rifle is striking, so I don't need it.
Then we have one spare. If we don't need it, we can try to sell it later.
Is there anyone who could use some extra damage output from their weapons? For instance, Mador?
I glaive.
Well, if we have so many runes to attach, maybe we have someone in the abbey here who can help, so we can halve the time needed.
So Mador should have the other striking rune then. On his favorite weapon.
Agreed.
But yeah, that's a good idea, Estrella. See if there is someone who can help Yodi attach runes.
It will take Iodi several days to do this by himself, but it will be significantly more expensive if we have help.
As far as I understood, time is of essence.
Indeed.
And I think we should go see the abbot and see both upon the terms of the mission, the equipment we are promised, and further assistance for rune attaching.
Indeed. Did you not say there was a blacksmith, Preacher?
Yeah, there might be a blacksmith around. I don't know.
Your pardon, I was thinking of the quartermaster.
Ah, yeah, I don't know that person's skill in such things. But there is a quartermaster, yes.
As you say, my friend, we can but ask.
Oh, we also have that human bane rune that we could remove from the Great Club.
True.
I wouldn't feel comfortable with carrying around the weapon with that's human bane. I don't judge anyone else to do so, but I wouldn't.
But
Enough humans have attacked us. I am willing to use it.
Sure.
is it human or is it all humanoids?
Humans.
Yep.
It would work on me and not on you in a humanoid form.
I have no problem with it, but I don't have a spare weapon to attach it to, so.
In short, humans and subtypes of them, like half elves, half orcs, sylphs, that sort of thing.
Mm-hmm.
But not dwarves or elves or goblins. So I take it you're planning on heading to the abbots?
Yes.
Well, you find him in the same place, standing on the same log, on his left leg now, having gathered quite a bit of snow on his shoulders and arms. He gives Sora a smile as you're all coming up. And I take it you have discussed among yourselves.
Indeed, we have, Abbot. However, we are looking for some assistance. We have a number of runes that we would like to attach to clothing, weapons. Do you have anyone here that could lend assistance to Master Iodi in attaching these?
Well, there are always traveling scholars visiting. I am certain Quartermaster Imelda could give you a hand. Finding the right people to do this. Was there anything else?
Quartermaster Imelda mentioned a warhammer belonging to an apprentice knight that went to the castle.
Yes. This warhammer, it would be marked with the sigil of House Montfort. Yeah. As House Montfort does not formally exist at the moment, you would have to petition the local constabulary for ownership of the warhammer. Unless a scion of House Montfort should show up and claim it, it would be yours. And if a scion of House Montfort shows up and claims it, they would have to pay you for the privilege of taking ownership of it. For a weapon of that potency, as a Hexjägare, I believe it would be a nice amount of gold, enough to retire on if one did not spend it on, say, magical potency for weapons and bard trips costing 10 gold.
The bard was only 8 gold, and it was worth every copper.
I do not presume to claim how you should spend your gold. I know, however, that for adventurers, gold burns hotly in the pockets. Still, a weapon of that potency, I believe, a fair amount of gold even for you, should you be required to relinquish it to House Montfort.
Would you know where to find the local constabulary so that we might petition to use it in the meantime?
Well, you'd have to establish contact with the Lord and Lady in Ravensbridge, where I understand you already have a somewhat high standing. Or, of course, go directly to Crack the Chevalier and petition for royal pardon.
The quartermaster also mentioned that were we to undertake your task in heading to the castle, that we might make use of some potions on the magical protection against the undead.
The quartermaster will know what we have to spare for your mission. If you take this upon yourselves, I will sign the requisition form. I trust her to know what's in stock. It is not my place to stare over her shoulder and count her inventory.
Indeed. And who would we say about the requisition?
The quartermaster. Who else?
Of course. Preacher, would you like to take care of that?
Absolutely. I am scheduled to meet up with the quartermaster in training soon.
Danke schön. Master Iodi, could you contact the Lord and Lady in Ravensbridge?
Can I?
Well, that depends on your spell list, basically.
I don't know what spell that would be.
Then I'm gonna hazard a guess and say that you can't do it right now, except for maybe sending a raven.
Yeah, I don't have any spell. Iodi has not the means to do this. Iodi communicates with those who are present.
It was but a thought. Very well. We will have to send the ravens then. However long that will take.
Hopefully not longer than attaching the runes.
Well, we should get going.
Yes, we will need to find a raven to send.
That would be in the Raven Loft, I think.
Most likely.
You don't want to go to Ravenloft.
No, we really don't.
I will take care of the legalities for you with the Warhammer. Worry not.
Thank you, Abbot. That is very good of you.
Okay, let's go gather the tools and see if we can find someone to help Iodi, and then we'll have some time off, I think.
Yep. Some time to train, possibly.
Right, so I assume you're heading to the Quartermaster next.
Indeed.
Yep, Imelda is still at her desk, drinking some black bean brew.
Outstanding. Greetings, Quartermaster Imelda.
Ah, Preacher! Good to see you. What can I do for you?
We have reached an agreement. We will undertake the task of the Castle Montfort. And the abbot has approved the use of some of your supplies, potions and such.
Ah, yes. Anything else?
We are hoping to also get some assistance with attaching a couple of runes and such to items we already possess. So we need labor help.
Ah, well, leave whatever runes you want attached and whatever you want them attached to with me, and I will take care of it for you.
Will that be at a cost or?
Not if it's been requisitioned.
Excellent.
We do have a traveling scholar here that I believe can take care of this, but she has requested solitude for herself and her companion.
That is agreeable. I will round up the items and drop them off.
What do you want them attached to?
There are a couple of different runes. So there will be a longbow, I believe. There will be a piece of clothing, a robe, which will attach with an armor rune. There is various other items.
Very well. But nothing that needs you to be personally present.
I don't think we have attunement things, no.
Very well.
I think that is it. Yes.
Now you start loading up runes and weapons. She ends up standing with one armor rune. Like, what's this thing supposed to go on to?
Well, if it's the armor rune that's supposed to be for me, I take out the robe that we found in the underground crypt. The mad girl's lover, basically the noble that handed us his robe, could take on the shape of whatever the owner had for house and would adapt to him. And I'll ask that this will be done for me.
Ah, excellent.
I have not yet worn the robe yet, though, so let me first put it on. And now, Shogi, this is the time for you to think, what kind of icon will I have on my back?
That is an excellent question. It is a beautiful icon, striking, awe-inspiring. And it will come in the next patch update.
Excellent. And there's also, I should inform the quartermaster, there's also some of those hidden pockets here. The sleeves contain extra dimensional pockets. I will use them for healing tools.
Yeah. Let's see. Let me. I'm gonna send the. I'm gonna send the thing that's on the robe currently to Tolmar so that he can show it off on stream, and then we'll get back to what it looks like. It's been dropped in chat. Well, next up is portions, and that will be 10 healing portions for you all.
If you have anything for protection, temporary or a little bit more permanent, that would be appreciated.
Give me a moment. And she goes down and starts fiddling with and she pulls out a couple of tiles about 5 inches across, square tiles. There's the icon that's on the robe currently.
Nice icon.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
2 of these, the blue ones, have a shield spell embedded in them. 2 of these, the orange ones, have a sanctuary spell embedded in them. And then these last 2 have a stabilize spell embedded in them.
It sounds
That's
mighty fine.
all I can spare currently. We're tasked with protection of the champion's training here. So I would love to do more, but I must prioritize my main mission first.
Absolutely. If we do recover ingredients from the making of these things and we can spare them, I will see if I can bring some back for you.
Right. As you're standing there, a tall figure dressed in black, very ornate, full plate of armor, with the visor up. However, you can't see anything of the face inside. And they are wearing a black cloak as well, with the emblem of a white tower on a black background with a teal scarf wrapped around it the entire way down. Comes in, collects your items and runes, and nods to the quartermaster before leaving. It should be done by tomorrow morning.
Outstanding. Thank you again.
The figure turns before it leaves the room, walks back, is handed a huge pot of black bean brew, and then walks out again.
Oof. Now, there's only one final request before I leave you to your work, Quartermaster Imelda. My compatriots are beloved of that black bean brew, so if we could have an extra portion in our supplies as we leave you, that would be appreciated.
Oh, I know just the thing. It's from a new thing from the Ebon Coast, ground much finer than usual. It gives you a smaller but much more potent cup of black bean brew.
Excellent, excellent. I will make sure they receive it at the opportune time.
Yes, I believe the inventor called it Hexpresso.
Very interesting name. I bow to the quartermaster and make my way back.
Yeah.
And inform the others that we'll have overnight express work done on these items. It doesn't need to do anything.
Nice. Did you get the form so we could get it filled out and signed?
Hey, there was apparently a traveling craftsman of some sort that basically had taken a vow of silence for a couple of days and wanted to rest here. And yeah, they paid with this work.
Didn't expect that. That went a lot better than I thought.
Extremely surprising. I also got quite a few potions and a couple of slates they can break for activating spells. Shields, sanctuary, stabilizing.
That is very useful.
It is. I also made a promise if we would find any large amounts of rare stuff for making new potions, that would help with a little bit of resupply, if we could spare it.
I'm sure we can keep an eye out for this.
Yes. Successful. Good lord.
It seems that we have everything done.
Did you get requisition form so we can have it signed? So we don't get stuck with the bill tomorrow.
I was actually asked specifically regarding the bill, and there was not a bill.
Fair enough.
But no, I didn't get paperwork.
Well, we are doing the abbot's request, so I hope he does not take it personally.
No, and I think this is fair treatment. I mean, we had to have something to keep us going on this mission, and our resources were pretty much expended.
Right, so what are the rest of you planning on spending the rest of the day with?
Well, since I'm not attaching any runes or anything, I will continue to try to identify this staff and just study up.
Very well.
I will craft some fuses for the bombs so I can activate them from distance if needed.
I'm gonna clean all my guns and then I will train with my hand crossbow and whip on a training dummy.
I'm gonna go try to find Dog Bro and hang out with Dog Bro.
If they are still running around, I will throw the ball for them.
Yeah, Dogman. Khalid is very happy with both ball throwing and other forms of play with Edamir. Yeah, we are.
I'll be doing training with the monks here and see if I can absorb some of their techniques. Maybe I'll improve eventually.
I guess a 22 is enough to craft some fuses.
Okay, so you have yourself a good, relaxing day, all in all. And in the morning, when you come for breakfast, your gear is lined up on one of the side tables, ready to pick up, in addition to the potions and what looks like about a week's worth of rations with extra espresso rations added.
Ooh.
Nice.
Espresso.
This espresso thing, this is awesome.
I don't think it's cheap, so sparingly, I think is a good idea.
Considering I had 2 and I'm now vibrating, yeah, definitely.
It is pleasantly strong.
I'll go saddle the horses.
Tiny Fox cannot stay still.
I will join you, Marisol. Let us prepare to depart.
Right. Anybody have anything they want to do before you leave?
How far was it again to the castle? Was it like a day or 2, or was it longer?
About 3 days.
3 days, okay.
Question.
Yes.
Is that Warhammer actually at the table as well? Did he manage to solve this overnight?
No, the Warhammer is something you actually have to find.
Okay, check. But still.
Yeah. As you're heading out, Albertine and Bernadette come up to Mador and Iodi. Albertine leans down in front of Iodi, scratches him behind his horns, and like, "Oh, I knew you would do the right thing, Master Iodi. I am so thankful. Please, this is an extra gift from me to you. These for your hoard," and she hands over 5 gold to Iodi. "And of course, this for you," and she hands over a little meat pie, still steaming from coming out of the oven.
Ah, yes, fear not. Iodi's horde grows. The evil will. They will get what is coming to them. Fear not.
"And for you, Sir Knight." Yeah. Bernadette steps up to Mador. "The brave defender of La Marcotte. Mailed fist of Master Iodi. I hope this brings you luck." And then she binds one of her stockings around around Mador's right upper arm. Then gives him a kiss on the cheek, blushes, and steps back and waves as you leave the courtyard of the abbey. Well, leaving towards, you were planning on going to the village of La Marcotte first, if I understood your plans correctly.
Yeah.
Well, going up north, you actually crest the mountain and start moving down on the other side. The road still isn't very well maintained. I'm gonna need a survival check from whoever is leading your group through, or has Edamir used his spell again?
No, I don't have that spell right now.
Okay. In that case, it is Leopold with the survival check, and he does manage to avoid getting you into any avalanches. As you come down from the mountain on day 2, the weather gets warmer. The ground is still hard from cold, but there's no snow. Currently, you're heading towards the crater, and you know that around the crater of Jagged Teeth, weather tends to be a bit wonky every now and then, which is confirmed at the morning of day 3 when it's about 18 degrees Celsius, where it was freezing the night before.
As we are closing in on our target for now, Estrella in the morning is covering up the scars she has in the face.
Yes. How is she doing that?
I have a disguise kit.
Very well. Give us a disguise roll.
That was deception, or what is it?
We're gonna say it's deception. Yeah, that sounds like it. That makes sense to me.
What were we disguising as?
No, I'm covering up the scars in the face.
Don't we have a hat of disguise?
You do.
You don't have to, then.
Yes. Around 18C or 64F for fridge measurement.
Well, some people, when they see my scars, react strangely, so...
I understand.
You're
If we can-
traveling with varied companions. I don't think you have to worry about it.
But if you feel better hiding them, then go for it.
So you start moving up towards the domain of Montfort. You see, or pass, several ruined villages. Probably not too many souls in each of them, between 60 and 70 if you were to guess from the buildings, but the ones you're passing are mostly now ruined, decrepit. You can see doors have been just pulled off of hinges. In some cases, something large and powerful has just gone straight through wooden walls. But you don't see any corpses. Except here and there where you find splintered and gnawed bones.
The man-eaters.
Looks like the orcs got here first.
And as you enter Lamakot itself, probably a larger village, if you were to guess, maybe even a township. There are some houses of brick here. Not every house has been burned down or looted yet. You can't see anybody at first, but a young gnome, male, hard to say his age with gnomes, but on the younger side of any gnomes you've met, with bright pink hair, although now turning gray from soot and mud, crawls out from beneath a ruined wagon, looks up at you and like, "Are you knights? Are you here to save us?"
We are here to help if we can. I am afraid we are not knights.
We're mercenaries.
Why in the name of Geb are we paying so much taxes if the knights come for this? First the undead and then the greenskins? There's hardly a living soul left in this village.
Well, take that up with the powers that be. We're here now to help.
Did Bernadette actually find help? Are you mercenaries?
We are.
Who are you? The Silver Knives? The Night Circus?
We are called the Knights Thorns.
Never heard of you. But
It is not unexpected. We work over by Ravensbridge.
well, if you're here to stop those monsters from killing us, there's a horde for you in it.
Zovi here. Do you know exactly what is in this hoard?
Oh yeah, I have it on me. And he pulls out a pouch. He walks over and hands it to Zara. Here, everybody in the village chipped in.
Zara's gonna smile and be like, "We'll make sure we free your village."
Well, thank you. We'll make certain that any time you travel through Lamakot, we'll give you room and board, and some of our famous cheese, if any of the cheesemakers have survived.
Cheese?
Yes. I still have some of it here. He shaky hands crawls back and comes out and hands out a small piece of cheese with a hard outside and a creamy, almost liquid center.
Now this is what I call payment.
You can smell it from probably 30 feet, and to Adamir, it smells delicious. Oh. If you'll excuse me, I'd rather not end up in the cooking pot. I don't know what those greenskins were looking for, but a fortnight ago, suddenly the dead started waking up, wandering up into the old castle and taking up guarding positions, and then this wave of green-skinned muscle and teeth just kind of slammed through the village, killed whoever they could, grabbed their bodies, and then they assaulted that castle. And I don't know, the fighting went on for over half a day, but now instead of undead, these huge hulking beasts, twice the height of a man, with big flabby bellies and ugly grins, come down and grab whoever they can find. And then they go back to the castle, and then we can smell cooking meat. I'm never eating meat again.
Marisol looks slightly green.
Estrella's hand grabbing her weapon, the knuckles turn white.
It's a good thing you make cheese then.
This
I
does not
understand
sound
completely
good.
about the no meat thing. I haven't touched the stuff in years.
Point us to the castle.
Well, you can't miss it. He points up towards. You can barely make it out on the top of a hill. Walls. Hard to say from this distance how far away they are, but you can see at least 3 floors of castle standing up over the walls. It's not a grand, like a royal castle type thing, but more the local lord that's had some time to build up and add floors.
Do you know of any back doors?
I've never been to the castle, and I'm never going.
We will find a way in, but this complicates things.
Yes, it sounds like the orcs have taken the keep. I do not like this.
I don't either, but I'm still going there. They have to die.
There's an extra large orc, the size of those hulking beasts. I believe they're called. Oh, no, I don't know what they're called, but they're bigger than orcs. And he's
Orog?
big.
Was it Orog?
I don't know.
An ogre.
I make shoes. I don't hunt monsters. I don't know what they're called. But he traveled through here. He comes down sometimes to lord it over us, wearing whatever he finds finery from the from the keep, and there was a dwarf. He greeted here a week ago. A dwarf with several other dwarves. They had a cart with. They were trying to hide it, but I saw shiny metal, shinier than any steel I've ever seen. Several bars of it. They were welcomed into the keep. I haven't seen them leave, but if they're working with those things, I hope they got eaten.
Have you seen a monk or some kind of priest?
He came through asking for a back door into the keep. Swore that he would defeat the evil in there. I haven't seen him since.
Did he come alone?
He went there alone, yes.
Pretty brave for one man.
Yeah, the description of this man was brash and impetuous.
Foolish.
Probably.
Just like
it's
us.
It's only foolish if you fail.
Let us make our way closer to the castle and see if we can find a way in. And try not to be noticed.
And if we can't find a way in, we can just get captured and they'll take us in.
Or better, we can just kill anyone foolish enough to leave the castle until the castle's empty.
I like Zara's idea better.
I don't want to be in a cookpot. I've seen what happens there.
Let's not have this discussion here. I look at the poor villager.
Yes. They haven't been down here for a few days now. There was a band of hobgoblins dressed in weird armor. Their leader had a spear, burned like fire. They had 2 carts full of people from other villages. They rolled into the keep. I think it was 3 days ago. It could be 5. I don't know.
Yeah, well, at least one of our bounties is in the keep.
Then we'll go see if we can find it.
Or we set up an ambush for them. Sounds like they've been gone a while. They might be coming back soon.
Yeah, but we can't wait forever either.
We can wait longer than they can.
True.
I'm sorry if I'm not entirely enthusiastic about the idea of starving flesh eaters, cannibals, or human eaters until they want to come out. I'd
If
rather
they eat
find
each
out
other
more.
first, that's less to kill.
Well, again, we can't siege the castle.
We
But
have,
yeah,
we have no guarantees they will eat each other. I'm sorry, preacher.
But we could definitely scout out the area and see if there is a way in. A lot of these places have some sort of back doors or secret tunnels to escape through.
The keyword of that is secret. They're usually pretty well hidden.
Well,
maybe we're lucky and there's a missing wall.
And they're usually, like miles away from the keep.
Look, do you want to have something to do, or do you just want to sit here and twiddle your thumb?
I can keep myself entertained for weeks. I'm not worried about it.
I am easily bored, so I will go look for ways in.
Yodi will go with Marisol. Clearly my horde needs finding.
Well, we can't split up, so if one of us goes, we all gotta go.
First of all, we should find somewhere to set up camp, and then we can go scout out the area. Agreed?
Agreed, but we should look for a place that's well hidden for the camp. We don't want them to find it while we are away.
Or when we're there.
Correct.
Very well. Let us go and set up and scout the approaches.
Yep. The gnome, still quietly sobbing to himself, crawls back into his hidey hole. Best of luck to you all.
Thank you for your information. Please
Stay
hide.
safe.
Yeah, we will do our best to rid you of this terror.
I don't quite understand. Why won't he eat meat anymore?
Would you, after seeing people? Never mind.
I mean, you people eat my fox skin all the time.
I prefer cow, but
I've never eaten fox.
Me neither, as far as I know. Let's look for a place to camp and then let's see if we can find an entrance to that castle.
Right, give us a survival roll. One of you. Find a good camping place.
I'll help.
there we go.
Right. You do find an abandoned badger den, barely large enough that you can crawl into it, but inside big enough that it'll fit at least 6 of you at a time.
Do you want me to scout for badgers?
Why?
I mean, there might still be somebody home.
You
Do
go
we...
check.
I mean, this looks not big enough for all of us, and if we are found here, we are easy targets.
We cannot all fit in at once. Some of us must stand guard.
I can craft some snares.
That will be useful too.
I sleep outside anyway.
One less.
I'll sleep
space.
with the wagon.
Yeah, the
Uh,
wagon is
if-
easily concealable in some old, very thorny brush, where something large has at some point barreled through, leaving enough room for both horses and the wagon.
Well, if there's room to hide the wagon, why don't we just sleep in that?
All 8 of us can't sleep in the wagon.
And after I thought the trouble to find the badges then?
Look, I can sleep anywhere. We just need to decide on it. So, the wagon is there, someone sleeps in the badger's den, and I think we're well hidden.
Let us leave that of our gear that we do not need and begin scouting the approach to the castle.
Right, how are you planning on doing that?
I could transform into an orc and walk up there.
Or you could transform in. You can just be a fox running around checking the forest around the castle.
I mean, that too.
If you transform into an orc and they invite you in, you'll be alone.
But they'll open the gate.
And you'll be alone.
And we'll be on the other side of the gate.
Or you're going to get shot by the orcs in the castle in Eaton. Do you even speak Orcish?
Yeah, wog.
I take that as a no.
So I guess I'll go tiny fox form and go towards the castle.
Right. What are the rest of you doing while he's doing that?
I'm gonna get shot.
I'm going to secure our camp with some alarm snares.
I am gonna use my ability to hunt people on two legs and see if I can hunt around for where they might have exited and entered if they haven't done that by the main gates.
Yep. While you're looking around, or while you're readying up to go, you hear "Scheiße!" and then ding-a-ling-a-ling-a-ling-a-ling, and you see Estrella hanging by one leg from a rope.
After laughing, I am cutting her down.
At least we know the trap works.
They
It
most
wasn't-
definitely do.
But it wasn't supposed to be a trip snare as well. I didn't want to combine these two.
Well, now you did.
You're pretty certain you're never going to be able to replicate whatever you did with that trap, but your hands are actually bound behind your back as well.
I'm gonna help you down. Hold on.
Right.
Thank you very much.
Leo looks towards the castle to try and see if he can see if anyone's taken alarm at this.
While the circus is going on there, I'm going to need... we'll get to Leo afterwards, but I'm going to need stealth and perception rolls from Edamir, who was heading out first to go scout in fox form. Good thing you got those ones out of the way early. And you do have a +10 for being in fox form to stealth, do you not?
It's a straight 10.
Ah, okay. Well, there's not a lot of forest around. There's mostly badland. You're close enough to
Whoop, I rolled the wrong one.
the crater of jagged teeth now that there's not really a lot of grass or trees or anything like that. Mostly the sort of brush
Damn it.
and rugged bushes that can survive close to a desert environment. The ground is dry, cracked up. You do have a heck of a time avoiding the amount of snakes, scorpions, and other critters moving about in the area. They probably wouldn't bother an adventuring party, but for them, a fox is a tasty meal. You do manage to do so. And, moving up onto it, you can see there is actually a moat around the castle, about 20 feet across.
The nature check is supposed to be perception. They're the same bonuses, so I'll just use the 16.
Yeah. Sure. Skirting around the castle, you can see that the walls are unbroken except on the southern side, where there probably used to be a gate, but now there's just rusty hinges hanging there. They haven't done anything to it. Castle walls themselves are about 30 feet high and look pretty solid, although blackened with soot and dried human viscera. And the moat around the castle is starting to fill up with cracked and splintered bone, both human and, well, looks like pretty much anything that the new occupants can get their hands on. While scouting around, you can hear a woman start screaming, pleading for mercy for a little while before a meaty chop stops the sound, and there's evil laughter from whatever's in there. And somebody is trying to play a piano and doing a terrible job. But there is the sound of orcish voices kind of singing along, which makes it even more horrible.
Do I see any ways across the moat?
Looks like the orcs have rigged up just some old boards that they have lying on the other side of the moat, ready to just be swung over with 2 hefty hemp ropes. Otherwise, the walls of the moat look climbable. They obviously haven't been maintained for a couple of years, so there's some growth and vines and brush starting to build up on that moat, in addition to just erosion from rain and other things. So it looks like there's plenty of handholds to be able to get up there. In your estimation, what would be real difficult is actually getting over all of those splintered bones without making sound.
How far across is the moat?
Mostly around 20 feet. Pretty much all the way around. For our European viewers who don't work in feet, that's about 3.5 fridges.
What about the castle walls? Do I see anything with them?
The castle walls, you feel a sense of the unnatural from them, especially where you can see soots there, and in some places the stone is melted. Not all the way through, but it's been exposed to some sort of unnatural fire for sure. Sadly, it looks like nothing grows on them at all. Like any sort of plant growth or anything like that just stays about a foot from the castle walls themselves. There's just burnt ground next to the castle wall itself.
Okay. I'm gonna go back to the others. And I'll relay the information. I'll tell them most likely, they're not hungry. And that the walls are protected, it seems. So kind of like those pillars that we experienced back in that bridge town. I don't think anything's going to be able to stick, or climbing might be a little bit of a pain.
Might be a pain or might be impossible.
Tomato, potato.
You said there was a big hole to this house.
Yeah, I didn't go take a look at it.
That might be our best point of entry.
Well, if we could somehow get across the moat and swing the little bridge over, or at least one of us, and then my vulture can help. He's pretty big.
Yes, getting through all those bones on the moat, that is the problem.
Is anybody strong enough to throw a tiny object 20 feet?
Yes.
No problem.
You could throw me across the moat?
He could probably do that.
Most likely.
And then my bird can help me swing over the platforms to walk across.
If you don't mind, we can give it a little bit of an experimental try here on flat ground.
All right. Just watch out for the trees.
Right.
We'll find an open area.
Tossing, tossing fox, not at all intentionally at trees.
I'm gonna pace out 20 feet so that we know how far it is.
Pest form is tiny size, though.
Yep.
Right. So that's going to be a DC 10 athletics.
Is it 10?
Oh yeah. You yeet that fox.
Ladies and gentlemen, the next village party, fox throwing.
What do I need to roll for my landing?
Can I use an
Acrobatics?
acrobatics to catch him?
Yeah, you can. Yeah. Caught safely in Marisol's arms, like a small fox-shaped football.
You okay?
Yeah.
Score!
Oh,
With an arm like that, Preacher is definitely ready for the Superb Owl Cup.
well, that's one way we could do it.
It looks like a fun way to do it.
To you.
Well, yeah. I did catch you, didn't I?
Yeah, but in the real thing, there would be nobody to catch me on the other side.
I know. I'll scratch your ears after.
Well, unless Estrella or I can sneak through those bones, it is our best option.
So you said the hole's on the south side,
Correct.
Edamir?
Yes.
Which side of the planks that the orcs use to get across, or the doors, whatever they use to swing across?
Which side? The castle?
Yes.
What side would that be?
That same, pretty much directly close to the hole.
Okay. Try and get a visual of this.
What do we know about when they sleep?
I mean, they're partying right now.
So if we wait a couple of hours, they might be very drunk and done partying, sleeping.
It would take a lot to get an orc drunk, I think.
And they will have guards. Remember, there is at least one with military knowledge.
One likes to play the piano. If anybody got any piano skills they could teach him, he might be able to, work with them.
It was my sister who was a piano player, so I can't help you there.
He was really bad.
She's actually quite good.
More bad piano players the world does not need.
What if we keep an eye out and see if they go and see if we can learn something about their habits?
I could easily do that. Maybe. You said there wasn't many trees around? Shago?
Not a lot, no. Think more like New Mexico Badlands / desert type.
Okay, then maybe not.
Of the brush and sort of plants that can survive in this environment, there's nothing taller than whatever would reach Sara to the hip.
I think darkness might be the best cover for us to get close to the castle, but
Does anybody know if orcs can see in dark?
What do I remember?
I know that half orcs can, so I guess that they can too.
Hey, Shago, I'm going to use my esoteric lore to recall
Oh, yeah.
information on all of the families of greenskins.
If anything, they see worse in daylight than in the dark.
Yeah, darkness would be giving them the advantage. That's when they thrive.
I was afraid of that.
That's probably when they're going to leave the castle to raid the villages, is when the sun sets.
So what time is it now?
About lunchtime.
So we'll be best off starting today then.
Looks like it.
Well, if we can get close and throw Edamir across the moat and get the bridge in position and try and get in before darkness.
We don't want to be in there at
Oh.
night.
That's only one half the problem. The other half is trying to get over the wall that's protected.
I thought there was a gate in the wall.
Thought there was a hole in the wall.
Oh, is there? Did I see a hole?
You did see a hole in the wall on the southern side, yes.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Fox brain.
That's fine.
You said there was a space where there used to be a gate and just the hinges.
That's right. So yeah, that could be a plan. Whenever we want to go. But I don't know about just, rushing in.
Nobody said a rush. We will need to pick our way closer, carefully.
What if we spend today trying to observe them and see how they actually work? And then we'll go when sun breaks tomorrow. If they are night active, they should be tired in the morning.
Well, then, in that case, I would suggest laying an ambush in town just in case they do come out tonight.
Well, we have Mador who can see in the dark.
I can see as well. And that's not a bad plan, actually. They're just hunting civilians. They will not send out the full force. So if we can pick off some of them, we will have to deal with the less in the castle.
Did anyone ask the gnome how many people are left in the village?
No.
I do not think so.
He said not many.
See, I'm thinking if any do come out, and I get one of their, whatever they're wearing, I could dress up as one of them. And in the morning, I can stumble to their gate, fall over, act like I'm dead, motioning towards town, and then more will come out, but not the whole force, and we can just pick them off.
Or they might just rip you apart and eat you.
They're eating humans, not orcs. It's fine.
And besides, if they start to make sense, look like they're gonna destroy him, then he can become a fox and run away.
They have a very brutal leader. If he sees one of his people has a weakness, he will just kill him off.
I mean, I'll be already technically dead. They think I'm dead. I just stumble up there. Act like, the caravan got ambushed, which it did.
Let us set up to see what we can observe of how they behave.
Even if he acts dead, he will not be just left alone. Remember that it was said that they are taking all the corpses, and they are probably either eating or burning them. They are deadly afraid of undead.
I remember. I was just letting Edemir rattle on until he remembered. Let us set up to watch what they do. Prepare an ambush for them if they come out tonight, and plan to enter at first light tomorrow. Does anyone disagree?
It is sound.
Okay, so lay out your plan for me real quick here now.
Okay, we're going to watch the castle through the rest of the afternoon and set up somewhere nearby the hole in the south wall where we can ambush them if they come out at night, and otherwise go in the morning.
Back up. Closer to the village? Why so close to the castle?
Yeah, we're going to the castle, or to the village.
To the village, then.
Okay, so you're setting up an ambush in the village.
Yeah, village outskirts. And I would also say that I would like to be able to intercept anybody that tries to run back up.
Mm. We don't have the map for the village yet, but I would try to prep some trap snares where we can lure them so they just fall. Hopefully this time my roll will be better.
Okay.
If a couple of us want to scout the castle and try to look and see what we have, it would be like the stealthiest, fastest of us. That way, if anybody did come out, they could get back to town.
Right. I think that takes us to a natural stopping point for today's session. Because if we pull up a map now and you plan your ambush, nobody's going to be remembering it next Sunday. And if we start any fighting now with 15 minutes to go before our usual cutoff time, some people are going to be very, very tired at work tomorrow morning. So, with that said, we'll cut off earlier than usual today. For any new viewers, we go until 10 CET usually. It's 9:42 currently, so we'll be stopping 18 minutes earlier because that's just a natural stopping point today. New episodes of these sessions are uploaded on Monday evenings or throughout Mondays. Depends on my internet connection, basically. So for now, thank you for joining. Stay safe, stay healthy, and be well. We'll see you all next Sunday, starting up at 1800-ish CET. It's an RPG group, so telling you exactly which minute we're going to be on is about as easy as herding cats. But 1800-ish, plus minus 15 minutes. We'll go live. So everybody have a great time, have a great week, and we will see you all next time.
Bye.
Goodbye.
Bye.
We'll let Iodi find somebody to raid.